Credit card debt is at an all-time high, but what's scary about it is that we've all normalized it. It almost seems like getting into credit card debt or being in credit card debt is kind of trendy and no big deal. Everyone's doing it, so I'm gonna do it too. It's actually wild that we as an American society have normalized living a life in debt, and it's making everyone broke. And you wanna know something crazy? The average American has over $5,000 in credit card debt, and more than 60% of people say that they can't pay their credit card balance in full every month. And on top of that, almost 60% of Americans say that they don't have an extra $1,000 laying around in case an emergency pops up. You guys, this isn't cute, and this isn't a trend that we should be following or a trend that's cool to hop on. This is actually really scary, the fact that it is being normalized, and it's really dangerous. And in this video, I just want to talk about it. I want to talk about how we got here, why it's dangerous, and what you can do to break free from this sort of lifestyle. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, first off, how did this all even start? Back in the day, credit cards actually used to be a tool used for emergencies. So in case you had some crazy medical emergency and you all of a sudden owed thousands of dollars and you could not afford it, then that's where you would use your credit card. But now the way that credit card companies and banks market credit cards is a way for you to be able to afford this luxurious, out of reach lifestyle, and a lifestyle beyond our means. And social media is not helping with this. Social media actually tacks onto the problem because you're seeing all these people having all these designer clothes and bags and luxurious vacations and doing all these cool experiences, and you feel inferior almost. You're like, well, why can't I do that? And then you're like, oh wait, I have a credit card. I actually can do that. And listen, I know I preach a lot about credit cards on this channel, but that doesn't mean that I want you to just get these credit cards and spend on them irresponsibly. Social media makes having this luxurious lifestyle and using your credit card or credit cards to afford this lifestyle, it makes it look like you doing that is consequence free, especially if you are not able to pay those balances off in full each month. Decades ago, debt was seen as something a little bit dangerous to get into, but now it's actually promoted to go into debt to have the things that you want to have. And credit card companies encourage you to use your credit wisely, but in reality, this is all just really just a trap. The thing that we all need to understand is that banks and credit cards profit off of interest. They profit off of debt. They are so quick to offer you fancy credit cards and offer these really cool looking bonus offers to get you to sign up and entice you to get in there. But they know that if 60% of Americans cannot afford to pay their balance in full and end up in credit card debt a month, that's a lot of money that they get to cash in on because they collect interest on you every single month. So banks are literally setting us up for failure by doing this. At the end of the day, they will do anything they can to get you in the door and sign up for the credit cards, but once you go down that deep black hole of credit card debt, they don't care about you. They don't care that you can't afford the money. They don't care that you actually aren't able to pay off your entire credit card. They don't care that you are racking up thousands of dollars in interest every month because you can't pay it off. They don't care. They still expect you to pay them back no matter what. And because that's the way it is, of course, they are pushing you to get these credit cards and go into debt and afford a lifestyle that you actually can't afford. Now, the reason that this is so dangerous is if you are paying things off if you are paying for things using your credit card, just swiping and transacting, you got the latest bag, you're getting a new car, like whatever it is, you're just transacting and transacting all the time. But in reality, let's say that you are spending like $6,000 a month on things using your credit card, but you are only making like $3,500 a month or $4,000 a month. How are you paying that off? You can't, right? So most people, what they're doing is paying the minimum required balance every month, which is usually like $25 or something, right? The problem with this and why this is so dangerous is because you are now just accumulating interest on that balance that you have, on the outstanding balance. Credit card rewards and installment plans and 0% APR all make it sound really appealing to use your credit card to transact without any consequences. But in reality, that's just not the case. They want you to make it feel like you have free money until the bill comes. And this is the point where you start just living paycheck to paycheck, but even barely, because you are still not able to cover your entire credit card bill. And because you keep accumulating interest because you're only paying the minimum balance required, you are getting yourself into more and more debt because it just has this snowball effect, right? Like maybe initially your balance was this much, but now it's like this much and you just can't pay it off because of the interest. So this is the vicious cycle of debt. And that's why it's so dangerous to get into this sort of debt. And I get it, with rising costs, people are relying more on credit cards to pay for things, and even just basic necessities, unfortunately, like food and groceries and electric bills and all this stuff. You guys, inflation is real, okay? We've seen it the last few years. It's out of control. But this isn't to shame you or to guilt you, because I do want to say that there is a way to break free from it, and that's what I want to talk about now, and to break free from this vicious cycle. The first thing that we need to do is to recognize that credit card debt is not normal. This is not something that we should normalize as a society or in this American culture, whatever you want to call it. Yes, that is the way that everyone is headed right now, but that doesn't mean that it's okay, and that doesn't mean that we should normalize it, okay? Getting into credit card debt is risky and it's very dangerous if you have this issue and you know it about yourself. So let's see. So the first step is to recognize that credit card debt is not normal, and two is to recognize that, hey, I have an issue with spending on my credit card. If you realize that you are not responsible with it and you keep using it to transact with everything, stop using credit cards completely. You should just stay away from them and use either a debit card or just straight up cash. If that's what it takes for you to get your finances in order and to stop overspending, then do what you have to do. There's no shame in that. And just keep it in mind. If you can't afford that thing without a credit card, then you can't afford it at all. Step number 3 is to start to pay off your debt slowly. This means focus on paying off high interest debt first. So things like credit card debt or your house or your cars, start working on lowering the debt on those major things. And then you can kind of start focusing on the smaller pieces of debt as time goes on. But those are the highest interest bearing types of debt that you probably have. And also avoid taking on any new debt while you are in this process. While you're trying to get your finances in order, don't say, hey, let me go get a new car or let me go get another credit card to pay things off. No, no, no. Put a stop to all of that right now. Step number 4 is to shift your mindset. Instead of thinking about credit card as this extra money laying around, think of it as debt waiting to happen, especially while you're in this crucial phase of acknowledging that you have a debt problem and a credit card spending problem. And while you're trying to get things in order and pay off debt and not take on any more, just think of it that way. And remember, building wealth starts with spending less money than you earn. So if you're earning $4,000 a month, do not be spending $7,000 a month on your credit card. You should be trying to spend much lower than $4,000. True wealth is built when you spend less money than you earn and not relying on credit cards to fill in that gap. Remember, credit cards can truly be amazing, and I talk a lot about that on this channel, and it can even get you things like free flights and hotels and these amazing vacations, but you have to be responsible about them. Signing up for credit cards just to get the bonus offer does not mean that you keep transacting and you're not paying it off in full every month. It means taking care of your finances, being responsible, knowing where you're spending your money and how much of it you're spending, and being on top of it. And it doesn't always have to be like this. At least be on top of it in the beginning while you're trying to figure things out and manage your money better, and then you can kind of chill out once things are under control. We've been sold this lie that credit card debt is normal, but do not fall into it. Let's try to shift away from normalizing it, because it's not healthy and it really just leads to more stress and more chaos in our lives financially, which then leaks into all other aspects of our lives, and we don't want that. I want to know in the comments below, what is your experience with credit cards and debt in general, and if you've ever felt trapped by it. I'm definitely going to start putting out more videos on this channel about just managing finances and investing and budgeting in general. So if there's any specific topics you want me to cover or go into detail about, and if you're just getting started, let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to get on that. Otherwise, I highly suggest you check this video out next, where I go into more details about how to stop spending money and stop the bleeding. So I will catch you in the next video, and if you got any value at all from this video, it would really mean a lot to me if you hit that red subscribe button. This way you'll be notified anytime I upload similar videos. I'll catch you in the next video.